Hello everyone, welcome to Education Tat. This is Anil. We are working on Flowable series and today we are going to talk about important point for Kafka, RabbitMQ, JMS, similar integration framework. So these event delivery system will come directly with as part of the Flowable enterprise version that you can configure and you can make them use immediately. So this is one of the important topic that I plan to cover. So here's the look. Let's see. So in here, I'm going to paste a URL to download the demo application from Flowable website. And this all videos that we are creating or the session that we are creating are referred from Flowable standard documentation. So you can also check on these documentation. I'm pasting these links in the description as well as I'm just making it easier for you to follow. So let's see on the design. What we are going to do, we are going to upload a new application. So for that, as we did for the loan application, we need to click on the plus icon, import an app file, and here we need to upload the zip file that we downloaded from Flowable documentation or the download. So this is after we uploaded event flow application. What we need to do next, we can go and publish this, but before that, let's have a look what it has in the overall structure. It has couple of keys, couple of process models, and then it has events, which is an important point for you to actually see. So for that, let's publish this first so that it will be deployed. Now with each event system, there are two mechanisms. One is either you need to produce the event or you need to consume the events. And basis on the event, you can pass on the messages as well. So for generating event, we are going to start by looking at a simple process used to produce events or let's open the process model. So start event process and address event producer. So we are clicking on address event producer model and select its start event. So this one, you will see a form associated with it. So this is the start form with the start activity. It's working as an initiator. In here, you can see the customer ID and the customer address is provided. Now we can go back to the process model. We can click on send address change event. There are three main attributes that you need to look at. One is outbound event, configure to send to address change, and then the outbound channel. The first attribute will start with its outbound channel. So if you click on the customer channel link and the attribute, it will open up the model for that channel. So this is the model, event model for that channel. And here we need to configure a couple of things. Here you can see the channel is configured as outbound using JMS through Apache ActiveMQ, right? But click on the drop down and you'll see that you can switch very easily with Kafka, RabbitMQ, AWS, SQS, or you can even do the custom as well. We are defining it to use ActiveMQ destination of customers. Also that the payload is JSON, right? So we can keep it like this and the JSON is already selected. It is also possible to define a payload serialized as XML or a custom implementation. This channel model can be used by other models and apps as well, which means this is reusable in the same way as all Flowable models. Now we can close this model and go back to the address event producer process. The other key attribute on the send event task is the outbound event, and click on the address change to open the event model that will be used. So for that, let's go to the process model. From here, so we saw that this is address event producer that we opened up, and in here, So on the we are on address event producer models. Second attribute, which is more important, is our address change event. So outbound event and address changed. When we open this, it will look like this form. And we have defined the event to have three fields. The ID field will be used to identify the case of process, and it's marked as being one of the correlation parameters. In this case, the only one. Correlation parameters provide a highly efficient and scalable way of knowing how to match individual events to specific processes and cases. There is an event field that we will be using to pass our app specific type of event, which will show how to use when we get to look at handling inbound events. The final field is the actual value we are most interested in, that is the address where we are actually passing our message. All of these are text fields, but other types can be used as well. This event model can be used by other models and applications, which means it's completely reusable. And the final piece that brings all this together is mapping the data collected at the start of the process to the event model. So that is something you can see with the configurations, right? And correlation parameter is important because that is how these two are actually exchanging and knowing each other, how what message to be passed to what consumer. So something like a connector. Right? To be able to see the data mapping, we need to come back to this model again, and then here we can see the configured. So that is how the data being transmitted. Anything which is available in this value, customer ID is mapped to the ID value. Address changed is passed as an event. Customer address is passed as a address to the another data mapping. What we are doing here is just mapping all these information, and address is something very much important for this to be transmitted. Next thing that we're going to talk about is how we are reacting to these events. It is great that it's so easy to generate event for external consumption, but what's also really important is reacting to events posted by other systems or services to see how you can model a case to react to Kafka, RabbitMQ or JMS event. We need to go and look at the models available. So let's go and see the customer case model. For that, we need to go in here. We have not done anything, so it's safe to close it. On the customer case, we can see the model, and in this model here you can see the case with two stages. One is onboarding and another one is active, containing some human task plus another human task outside the stages. There is also a user event listener that will complete a case if triggered. The verify new address task can be executed multiple times. So that's where you can see the symbol, hash symbol there, and can be triggered by an event listener. So that is where it is associated with an event listener. There are also event listeners on a couple of tasks in the stages that we will come back to talk about it. Now let's click on the event listener connected to the verify new address task. So these are the event listener. If we look at it, you can see there are the some address change event used for inbound event, an inbound channel, and here again the data mapping, very similar to what we saw in other example where we were creating it. So let's quickly see what we have in the event inbound, right? Very similar to what we saw earlier. And then if we look at customer inbound, so these are some of the methods how it is working. So this time the channel model is defined as inbound using JMS. Again, this could just be easily changed to Kafka, RabbitMQ or others. There is some additional settings available which are specific to the message implementation used. In this case, JMS, we don't give any additional settings. So scrolling down, we can see the interesting part is that inbound pipeline. This defines the steps taken for handling a received event. There are all kinds of ways the pipeline can be extended, but we'll just use the standard elements. First, we said event is coming in a JSON. So the first step converts the event payload text to a JSON object, this one. And then the second step in the event which is event key detection, and you will see the configuration for this step as above. The default is a fixed value for single event type channels. However, we are going to be sending a couple of different events down the same channel. So we need to define where to find the event key in the JSON, and then how that can be correlated. So there are a lot of steps mentioned in here. You can go and read through in this example. I'm not going much in detail, but here comes the important point, how the address is being passed, right? So for that, let's have a look on the form model that we have. Directly going to the form model rather than going in through the channel. So customer overview is the form model, where we can see the customer ID, business name, customer address, and its status. So I think we talked enough how the data is being transferred, how the producer is producing the event and consumer is consuming. But it will be more clear when you will look at the working example. So let's go to the in here. It is very simple. We need to go to new and we need to create a work item. Customer case, right? It is asking about some customer ID. So I can provide some customer ID like Acme1234. And this will, if you remember, this will work as a correlation between producer and consumer. That is something I told you while presenting the configuration for producer and consumer. So when we submit this, you will notice once the case instance is created, you will see the stages showing as the onboarding one with the automatically started task onboard customer and the action button for the offboard customer user event. Switch to the work from tab to see the current values of the case variable. Not from here. From this one. So work from we can see that the values are here. You must be noticing why this is coming like work form rather than the task. So the simple thing is it is coming from the case based form, not the process based form. Now we can just provide the see the current values. Initially they have no values at all other than the customer ID. We have not provided any addresses or something. Now we can use the address event producer process to send an address change event onto the event channel. So for that we need to go to the new menu and we need to create a event producer, right? We just created a simple case. Now let's see how the event producer works here. So on event producer, what we need to do is we need to provide the same correlation ID 1234, and then we need to provide some customer address. I'm providing Acme HQ, and let's submit this. So as soon as we are submitting, the send event task will be called out and the event sent out on the ActiveMQ channel, and any other system listening on that ActiveMQ channel could receive that event. With this example, we are using the ActiveMQ already integrated into Flowable Engage. So it is only Flowable that will be listening because we have created a case instance with event listeners. Those we will potentially receive the event if they match the event correlation parameters. And since we have provided Acme1234 as a correlation ID, now we can have a look on the work form. So as you can see that we have not done any changes directly in here, but since we have provided address event producer, so this value automatically gets populated. So that's where we created an event. There was a listener associated to it. It listened to that and updated the values. So congratulations. With this, you have just sent an event and reacted to it without a line of code being in a site. The change address event handling will work for this address as many times as you want, as it's repeating and not part of any stage. What if we now use the similar status event producer to send a status change event? Let's try that. So from new menu, let's open the work and let's use status event producer. So here we need to provide the same acme 1 2 3 4, and we can provide any status, let's say silver, right? Now if we go and have a look on how our form looks like, so you can see that even this particular event was listened, and that's where it has updated the case form. So I'm assuming you should be able to follow me how we have used these configurations. Let me know if you have any challenge in following these hands-on practices. I will be happy to assist you. So with this, we are concluding this session here itself. Thanks for watching.